Hi!
Hi!
Hi! Welcome to the
Chronicles of Yarnia podcast
from Montclair's local knitting store.
Yarnia. And today you'll see we are missing one of our usual number, Jen.
Yep. Jen is busy with her kids. I am also busy with my kid, but he's in the store. So Charlie might wander around. I'm Amanda.
I'm Kathleen. Yeah, we're definitely doing this a little differently, but that's okay. It's good to mix it up now and then.
We have a lot of guests today.
That's right. That's right. And
we're recording on Sunday, this part.
And this is Sunday morning, and then on Wednesday morning we're going to record with Saysha, who is a designer and instructor in our store and an employee in our store. Yeah. So you get to meet her, which we're really excited about.
Stacia's had a lot of releases, pattern releases, just over like the last 3 or 4 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like new shawls, cowls, shawls, hats. So, and she's teaching classes on them here. So I think that'll be really cool to meet Saysha.
Exactly.
See how awesome she is, because we already know.
That's right. We do.
But yeah, so that's that part. Oh. Like and subscribe.
Oh yes, we always say that. So over here.
I really like, one of my New Year's resolutions is for us to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. So help us out.
That would be nice. I think we're like right under 600 right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't bad for year one.
Yeah, exactly. Not so bad. Yeah. And actually, I was telling Amanda earlier on Friday when I was here, I had a couple of people come in who had only seen us on the podcast and hadn't been to the store before. Yay. So that was really nice. So thanks for supporting us. We appreciate it. And they were both really happy when they got here, so that was nice. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so, and it's funny because we are used to Jen being like our master of ceremonies and running us through all of this. I did fill out our little form so that we remember all the designers' names when we talk about our patterns. Is Charlie there?
Yeah.
Let's let him say hi.
Say
this
hi.
This is Charlie. He's been on before, but not recently, right? You gonna give Mama a kiss? You can give Mama a kiss?
Say hi. No.
He'll say bye though, right? Well, he likes to say bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
No,
so,
you're going to be silent now. Yay!
You can just stay here the whole podcast. So what we usually do in the beginning is what's happening around town. And one thing that's happening around town is that today, the day you're watching this, if you're watching it the day it comes out, it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's!
Valentine's Day, Palentine's Day, all of the good. Celebrate all the love. So, so that is a nice thing about today. Yeah.
Yep, all your friends, family, people that you can tolerate in your life.
It's a good day to remind people that you care about them.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't you think so, Charlie? Right? Is it a good day for that?
Oh, you're being so sweet. Wow.
All right, so shall we move on to finished objects?
Sure.
Because, of course, just as with last time, we have something starting, like, as soon as we're finished.
Yeah.
Which is Jen's sweater class. So we know she'll be here in time for sweater class. She may pop in for a few minutes before that. We'll see how that goes. But, yes, we are on deadline, as we often are. So, yeah, let's go ahead with finished objects. You want to talk about your sweater, Amanda?
Sure. Well, Charlie's going to sit with me, I think, for a little bit. Yeah. So, I am wearing the ØNSKE sweater by Olga. Last name that I forget.
Well, Olga Jazzy is what she
Olga
goes by, right?
Jazzy
That's
is
easy
on.
to remember.
Yeah. Kefelian, I think, is the last part of her last name. But Olga Jazzy on Ravelry.
Mm-hmm.
She has some great patterns. But this one is made for a super bulky yarn. And when we got
you want to come over here while Mama shows her sweater? Maybe not.
No. When we got our shipment of the knitted wit cotton candy, right? I saw these. They were at my house first, and I saw them all together, and I'm like, I must make a sweater.
Yeah.
So Charlie, I'm going to stand up. You have to. I'll pick you up again. He's melting onto the floor. Okay, so I'm going to stand up.
So fun.
Ta-da!
Love it.
Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about some of the modifications I made, because this is mostly the pattern as written.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he's out of the way.
All right.
At first he put his hand right on the chair.
So like a few things that I changed. Well, first of all, I did the stripes, which if you look at which I'll link below, If you look at my Ravelry project for this, I talk about how I've figured out how many rows of each color to do for the stripes, so that I have like mostly equal stripes. This orange is a little bit bigger than the other ones.
They look really equal. They look great.
So, yeah. So there's that. Secondly, when I finished the sleeves, we'll put finished in quotes. When I finished the sleeves, well, actually, it was after our last podcast. Okay, I'll pick you up again. Hold on. After our last podcast, I don't know if you noticed the neck is a little bit different from the way I had it last time. It was rolling a lot.
Oh, right. I remember that, yeah.
Because it's just started and it's stockinette all the way down, and it's supposed to roll.
Yeah.
I think in the photos, it either must be a feature of that yarn that it doesn't roll much, or either they block the heck out of it.
Super hard, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not my lifestyle, to block all of my sweaters super hard every time before I wear them and stand in front of a...
Yeah.
I don't just like Vogue, and that's all I do in my sweaters. I wear them for real.
Yeah,
I didn't want like a neckline that was like down here because it rolled down so much. So I actually took out the first three, or the bind off and the first 2 rows. Just did
a little
2
bit
rows
of rib, right?
1 by 1,
Very
which
nice.
I don't think disrupts the pattern at all.
Not at all, no. You can barely see it, but it helps hold it straight.
It totally helps hold it straight. And
perfect.
I experimented on that on the sleeves first, because I didn't want my sleeves rolling up either. On the bottom, I mean, I'm not a slight lady, but it's sort of tight around the bottom, so it doesn't roll up
Anyone's
too much.
hips would help hold it if it's fitted, yeah. So,
so yeah.
Very
That's first modification I did. I was telling Kathleen this morning, I realized that your arms are longer than your torso. So if you make equal length stripes across the whole sweater, then your sleeves are too short, you see?
Yeah.
Yay!
But they line up perfectly if you don't mind the shorter sleeve.
Well,
but
I sort of
it's a
mind the
cozy
shorter
sweater. It's a cozy sweater, so I can see how
so
you want full length sleeves.
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough blue to do the whole whole sleeve length, but I'm going to divide the blue that I have in half and then just add them on. It'll literally take me 10 minutes per sleeve because they're so fast.
Yeah.
There's only like, maybe 12 stitches all the way around at that point. On size
the other
19
thing
needles.
that could be fun is we could see if we could locate a skein of the purple that would go with it. Wouldn't that be, that would be,
That
kind
would
of
be
finish
fun.
out the rainbow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could go either way. Yeah, I could do purple.
that would be fun. Well,
Maybe I'll text Largie.
yeah, see if she's got any of that sitting around. I'm sure the color
Violet.
exists.
Oh, I
because
know it does.
They're all about the rainbow.
Oh, I know it does. I know exactly which purple it is, too. I think, it's over there in that, in our...
Oh, yeah.
In our rings color.
Of the double bubble and,
yeah.
and gumballs, yeah.
But so this is the Knitted Wit Cotton Candy. It is so nice.
It's lovely.
Like, I mean, it's so nice. Like,
So
there's
soft.
zero prickle
Absolutely,
at all.
absolutely.
I was thinking, too, because we have white, light gray, dark gray, and black.
Absolutely.
That this would look super nice.
That would look so
and
fun. We could make a
a
monotone gradient. That would be so fun.
Yeah, it might look a little more public acceptable.
This is acceptable. It's
Then
fun. This says fun.
Highlighter
right?
rainbow.
It says fun. It's okay. It's totally good.
So
Totally good.
yeah, I'm a highlighter rainbow,
Yeah, go for it.
but I like it a lot. And this is going to be like now my yarn festival sweater, right?
Definitely.
It'll be super.
We won't be able to lose you.
No, you can't lose me. It's really happy. It's really fun. So I'm happy with it. And it was really fast too. And it's cozy. Feels good. Good construction. I'm really happy with this whole sweater. Except I need to lengthen the sleeves, which probably if I'd
Which
read
is
the,
easy to do.
if I'd read the pattern, it probably tells me to go longer in the sleeve length. And I didn't pay attention because I was like, I'm doing my length of stripes. Oh well.
All right. So I know you have. I see a whole bag of something over there that you probably want to talk about next, right?
Yay! This is like when you get done with like a valley of stockinette on a huge shawl times 48.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I started our Afghan knit along in 2019. What do you want?
You think you'll play with this toys for a little bit?
Are you gonna play with toys? Oh, I know what you would want. Look at this.
Snack?
Yeah. I know what you want.
time.
Yay. I brought some applesauce and some Cheez-Its for him, so we'll see how long that lasts. He's not as fast an eater as my bigger kids, so that's good. Yeah, so I finished all of my
All
blanket
48
squares.
squares. Yay.
Obviously, ends are not woven in; they're still dangly.
That's okay.
But
Pretty palette. I love those colors.
Right?
Really
So-
nice.
this is, yeah, this is the last square that I did. This is actually the next to last square, but for some reason, I did it last.
Cool. So these are all this cable. So you did what, 6 or 8 different patterns
I did 8
in each
different-
color?
I did 8 different blocks. That's what the pattern has, 8 different blocks. And then,
Pretty.
yeah, and then there's 6 colors of each block. Some of them, occasionally, so for when I was like, it's not a class per se, it's a knit along with a little...
With a monthly meetup.
With a
kind of.
meetup, yeah. And I'm prepared to answer questions at the meetup, but, let's say,
Oh, this is so pretty. I like this
yeah,
one.
if you need real help, come to what do you call it?
Help time.
Help time, yeah. But I really
Well,
like
this is not a like the thing you do after knitting 101. You want to have some knitting projects under your belt before you embark on
a
this.
few, yeah. But I think
Or be really motivated. I mean, sometimes when somebody is really motivated, a project like this can kind of push them over the hump and kind of take them from that beginner to
here's
kind of solid
That's all my
experienced
squares.
knitter. It's a lot of squares.
Yeah, and so it's
Love
really
it.
nice. So this is the
That was the
Pure
diamond
Wool-
one, I remember.
Pure
Yeah.
Wool Worsted Knit Along by Martin Storey. Made it for Rowan, and their Pure Wool Superwash yarn. I made it in our Germantown by Kelborn Woolens, which is just like very traditional worsted yarn, and it feels so good, and the color palette is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, lots of great color choices.
So what I was going to say, like right after knitting, I think this is an awesome, like if you want to learn a new skill too, you should check out this pattern because they've got great skill building techniques in every square. So this one is just knits and purls, and it's written and charted. Then you do this square, which is a star pattern, and it's
That
knits-
again looks like knits and pearls, right?
knits and purls, but it's a chart only. There's no written instructions. Right, and then
I'm always trying to get people onto charts in intermediate. I really am. It's one of those when you.
This is a good one.
It's like hieroglyphics. In one little thing, you can see so much. It's so much. Once it clicks for people, it's so much easier than reading the words, knit 2 together, purl 3, blah, blah, blah. It's just, you can look at it and in a glance know what you need to do.
Yeah, well, especially for something like this that's not repeating over 40 stitches.
Right, exactly. It's, every line is different.
You can probably see.
Yeah.
But it's a
I have
star
seen things like
pattern
that are
over
written out, though. It's
that's challenging.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's harder. Yeah.
Well, and it's definitely harder for the designer because one error and the whole picture's off. And
true.
like test knitting is so much more critical for something like that. The next square is this one.
That's a really
has
pretty one. I like that.
A very basic lace. Yarn over knit 2 together.
I was helping Mallory with that one during intermediate
Yeah,
recently.
no, it's good.
Yeah,
and
she's done most of her squares, but she's worked on a lot of other projects in between, and now she's like, I really want to finish this.
Well, this isn't a race. It took me, like I said, I started in
I know.
April. It's now February, and I still have a border to do too. But this one teaches you both the knit 2 together and slip knits.
And
so-
how knit 2 together leans to the right, slip leans to the left.
Which is important if you want to do blankets, or not blankets, sweaters. Charles, he's fine.
Don't worry, it was just the shopping cart.
Yeah, I'm not worried. If we don't jump up, don't worry, he's fine. You'll hear a little noise in the background. Then we do this square. That's a lace, but with a chart, right? So it's not just. It's a little bit more complicated lace. Not very much more complicated lace, but a little bit. Then what do we do next?
Maybe that one? Bobbles?
Oh, wait, I forgot. Oh, no, then you do mini... Yes. No. Yes.
Well, it's not
yes,
critical.
it is bobbles. You do bobbles. So it's hard for me to tell which side. Yeah, this is the right side. They're little... I can't tell if you can see these or not. This one has little bobbles on it.
You have to do a little
Yeah, I'll
thing
have
with
to
all
do a
of them.
thing. That one has bobbles on it. Then you do mini cables. Right? I tell people you should try this pattern if you really want to learn how to cable because you're only cabling 1 by 1 and you only do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times. Right? But you're cabling right, you cable left. Then, once you get that, you do this bigger cable pattern, going all the way up, very traditional. And then this very last one combines both lace and cables.
It definitely is a skill builder kind of
because
project.
you've
just
mastered
building
everything.
one on top of the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
So ta-da! Those are my 8 squares. Woohoo! We finished them.
That's a lot of knitting.
It was a lot of knitting. Oh my goodness! And I've got a pen. This is my bag that has all my pins on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's the one that's missing the back. Yeah.
I have 2 that are missing. These are supposed to be the latch-on bags that don't ever fall off. Apparently,
I don't find that that's true. I know. I think I'm gonna just put mine on a cork board or something somewhere.
Yeah.
Get to enjoy them.
I got my Yarnia pen. What? I have a Germantown pen. You Better Swatch. This is Abby's Girl Scout swap. So I have that. A cricket and a Toft Bunny, Knit Yorker, and the New Jersey wool block.
Yeah.
That's coming up soon.
That is coming up. It's true.
Okay, so now that's my big thing. So obviously I still have to weave in ends, 100 ends to weave in. But that's fine. I'll just do that while I'm on conference calls. And then
you're gonna block them.
I'll block them. Yep, make it up.
And what are you blocking them to? Like, what size are they supposed to be? Like 8 by 8 or
no, the
bigger, 9 by 9 or something?
This is too big. This one already is blocked, and this one, just because of the way it's lace and garter, it's stretched a little bit. I think this one is blocked too. So this is the proper size. And this one is a little bit bigger. I don't care. I'm going to just sew it in. I'll mush it back. I'll reblock it and mush it, right? Because you can tell, like, before you block it, they're not as big. That one stretched out a lot. So I'll just push it back again. In the middle of a blanket, right, there's a lot of structure that the side of a square in an Afghan gives you. I've put together Chanel's blanket, and those were some diverse square sizes. But once you get all the squares around it, things sort of like mush together and they pretty much
I remember
stay in shape.
Around when it was, I guess it was
Charles.
later, I put together with Haley, my daughter, the Yarnia piece for the yarn bombing. That was just about a year ago. Actually, somebody posted on Facebook recently. Do you believe this was a year ago? And that was quite the thing of getting things to fit and everything.
Charles.
So, all right.
I just see his little fuzzy head poking up on the other side of the table. Do you want these?
No.
No.
No
Okay.
Cheez-Its? Not yet?
No.
Oh, that face.
Now we're having a conference with Charlie. He's across the table. Do you want some? We're talking to you. We're going to present to you, Charlie.
So, I don't have any new finished objects today, but I'm probably wearing the oldest finished object we're ever going to have on the podcast.
That is
because
incredible.
This is from Vogue Knitting.
Oh, Charles.
Charlie, they can't see my sweater.
All right, let me go move him and you can see your sweater. Charlie.
You're right in the camera, honey.
Hi.
Hi, Mama.
Oh, you're a good
So
baby.
this is from Vogue Knitting, I think 1983. This is actually like the 3rd or 4th thing I ever made.
What?
It's kind of crazy, but especially when you're young and you don't know what you don't know, I'm like, that's really pretty. I'm going to make that.
Yeah.
And so I did. I learned in Tarja. I still actually have some of this wool. I've already redone the sleeve cuffs once, and now I need to redo the bottom of the body. I haven't worn it this year at all because the ribbing is just, the thing is well over 30 years old, so it's starting to fall apart. But
this front part looks pristine.
the Intarsia is good, and I did, the really small areas were duplicate stitch. But I don't think the pattern is really available anymore. It was in Vogue Knitting. I do have a project on Ravelry that we can link to.
Yeah.
I put mine up.
It's on Ravelry?
It's on Ravelry. They retroactively put a bunch of things up, and actually my sweater is one of the ones for the pattring on Ravelry because there's only like 5 of them. There's only a few that people ever posted to Ravelry. So
you might be able to get if like someone's super interested in knitting it, you might be able to get it on eBay or Amazon
true, exactly. They might be
like
able
that.
to find the issue. Yep. So we'll make sure we link to which issue it was. But yeah, I've worn it a few times a year every winter since I made it, and sometimes a lot when it was really in style. But I kind of feel like it's not. I don't know. It's just such a pretty thing. I love tapestry anything, so that's why I love the sweater and had to make it.
It looks almost store bought. It's like so good.
Thank you. I know, it's kind of crazy. And then I made one for my mom that had a light blue background and like 3 big pansies. That was from the same issue.
Wow.
It was so 80s. It was just. But I don't know if that one's still around.
Maybe that's what we're channeling today.
Yeah.
I'm the day glow of the 80s, and
I'm the big all over in charge of prints. So yeah,
the Laura Ashley part of.
Oh
the
yeah,
80s.
yeah, that 80s episode, right? So one reason I don't have any current finished objects today is because I'm working on 3 sweaters right now.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of sweater stuff going on.
Was afflicted by cast-on-itis. After I bound off that last square, I was like, yay, I'm free! And now I've got too much stuff.
I know the feeling. So I will so I had already been working on the Magnolia cardigan. I'll show you guys that at the end. But last Sunday, I decided to audit Jen's Class for Love Note.
Oh yeah, that's what's coming up next.
That is what's about to happen in 25 minutes in the store.
We got time.
Oh yeah, we're good. So I decided on Jupiter's Moon Callisto as my yarn.
Oh, you remember last time I put up the 2 options?
Yeah. So I'm really happy with it. I mean, they both were really pretty.
That was more.
Yeah. It's the little pops of yellow, the little bits of sunshine.
She's a yellow girl.
I do. So I did my homework on Sunday and Monday. I got through the lace.
Wow.
So that's, I was really happy with it. Actually, one thing I didn't do, but I'm prepared to do in class today is put a long cord in this so I can try it on. Because we want to see where it hits to see if I want to do any more rows before I start my raglan increases for this. So that is sweater number 1.
Oh, so there's lace first and then raglan.
Yeah. You start at the neck with a provisional cast on.
Yeah.
And then you can come back and add as many rows as you want, or tighten it up as much as you want before you do the ribbing, which is a nice idea.
Oh, so the above the lace.
Yeah, because we've got Jen's over there. I can grab that. Yeah. This is the one she originally made a while back.
Yeah.
So you start it actually.
I'm gonna take it off the hanger so we can see it better.
You start it a little bit above the lace, and different. This one probably started about here, and then she probably worked a few rows, and then her ribbing. So
you can really adjust it.
It's very adjustable, and they say that in the pattern. They really built it to be very customizable to how somebody wants it to fit for them.
Feels so good.
So yeah, and it's a real fun class. It's a lot of her regulars for her sweater class and some
acolytes.
New folks. Yeah, they learn so much. I mean, she's a great instructor.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I am trying to finish all 3 of these in February. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. That's sweater number 1 currently.
I have 2 that I'm gonna do in February. But
and then the next one is
neither of them are DK.
Ursa Minor. Yeah, there's that has something to do with it too. That's DK. This is actually bulky, and the other is worsted. So we cast on Wednesday night.
You made so much progress
For our bulky sweater knit along. This is the Ursa Minor.
This is fantastic.
This is Knitted Wit Unicorn Nightmares, which is so fun. And I did alternate the skeins a bit. It's funny, they were all from the same batch. They looked really pretty similar when they were in skeins, but as I've worked them, everyone definitely has its own personality. This one's got a lot of gold, this one had a lot of white, this one's got a lot of dark, and I did kind of, I didn't alternate skeins throughout the entire thing, which doesn't bother me, but I transitioned from one to the other, and I think actually I'm going to wind my 4th skein now, because this looks like it's got more gold in it, which is really one of the colors that I love, so I want to bring that into the body, and then what's left I'm going to use for the sleeves.
Yep.
So my plan for this is to make the body as long as I want to make it, and then split the rest of my yarn and do the sleeves as long as they'll be. I'm sure they'll be at least like bracelet length. They'll be, 3/4 sleeves.
Yep.
So I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's a bulky sweater. This may be done by knit night next week. Well, it's like this. It's
not like this. This is super bulky on a night.
It's close. It's really, I did most of this yesterday.
Wow.
So, I had started it before that, but the majority of it got knit yesterday. And then the thing that's been on hold a little bit is my Magnolia.
What size needle is that on?
I am working on, I think, a 9, and it recommends a 10.5. I'm actually working on a 10. I'm almost working on the specified needle size.
Well, there's a
That
big difference
almost
between
never
a
happens.
10 and a 10.5.
I know, but still.
Yeah. A 10 is a 6 millimeter.
Yeah,
Right?
and a 10.5 is a
6.5.
7, right? Or
6.5.
6.5,
Yeah.
and then 10.75 is 7.
Yes,
Yeah, which is
that's
what
what
you're
I'm
using
working
on. Yeah. So the Magnolia, I did a little bit more since we
Thank you, babe.
were last together. And I'm actually, one reason that this one has taken a back seat a little bit is that I was not happy with my nups or noops, as I've now heard some people say that they actually are noops, not nups. I don't know. I always thought they were nups. Everyone at Knit Night thought they were nups.
I thought they were nups.
Yeah. So my first, I'm going to call them nups just because that's what I've always called them. My first set definitely sank to the back. And so one night at like 1 a.m. I was actually Googling different ways of doing them to see how I want to do them. Because they're smaller. They're not quite bobbles. They're not as big as bobbles.
Yep.
But I'm in the row where I just am starting, now the row where I've got like 2 sets of nups per repeat. And I am happier with them, but because of that, I want to go back and redo the first ones.
Oh, wow.
Because otherwise, the pattern is not really going to be balanced.
Right.
So
Are you wrapping your nups?
I am. I think I'm going to do the crochet hook method, which I think that's what you used on your hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I wasn't even thinking about that initially, but as I was looking at all these different tutorials, the one that that to me looked the easiest, because I actually was a crocheter before I was a knitter. As like a 7-year-old, I'm very comfortable with a crochet hook.
You were a crocheter.
Yeah, I learned crochet from my grandma when I was about 7, and I'm comfortable with a crochet hook in my hand still. So, that is what I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna see. I may actually finish the Ursa Minor before I get back to this. But I'm sure I'll have homework again on my love note after class today. So we'll see where that takes us.
So that's
but
all
my
you're working
goal
on
is to
sweaters.
finish all of them in February. So we'll see.
You're just doing sweaters.
I'm just doing sweaters, which is not what I usually do. But you know what the other thing is? It's like,
I love sweaters.
it's cold enough. I love sweaters too. I really do. It's cold enough right now to
Watch
be
out.
wearing all of these. And the sooner I get them done, the more time this winter I can wear them.
Yeah.
So like I have made sweaters in March before, and then you don't get to wear them till September or October. And it's kind
It's
of
crummy.
yeah, it's not as fun. So I'll finish these hopefully in time to wear them before it starts getting really warm. All right, Amanda, let's see what's on your needles.
Okay, well, since this is not on my needles. Charlie brought me
Oh yes, the little
Charlie
sample
brought
we
me
have,
a sample
the cashmerino.
of the cashmerino. I don't know. Do you need a cashmerino sweater, Charlie? Is that what you're trying to hint? This is
I don't.
too.
He doesn't seem like a cashmerino kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's a little rough and tumble.
Yeah, you like that
He's being
one?
nice and quiet now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, since you just showed your, I think we're all obsessed with this yarn.
Yes,
the Lucky Tweed.
That's right. I didn't
Right?
say that, but my Magnolia Chunky
Yeah.
is in Lucky Tweed.
In the tomato color.
Love the tomato. So pretty.
Right? And if you remember from a couple episodes ago, was that, I don't remember if that was the 20th episode or 19th. I think it was 20th episode. Yeah, I think it was the 20th episode where I did the mitten.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And one of the colors I used was this light gray. Yes, Charlie. Light gray right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I love it so much. So I had to cast on a sweater. Because I didn't use that much for the mitten, and it seemed like such a shame to waste it.
It feels so good knitted up.
It's
It really does.
Awesome. And now that I'm talking about it, now I remember that I intended to do the green stripes on the bottom. So I'll remember to do that now. I got to put it in my bag, the green. But yeah, so this is the Magnolia. If you remember.
Or Felix, right?
Yes. This is Felix. JK. It'll be on the bottom here
Yeah.
properly.
The Felix Pullover.
By Amy Christoffers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Now I've got it right. It's the Felix that everybody in the world is making.
It's so pretty. It's a great kind of straightforward but nice detail kind of pattern.
Yeah.
You know, it's that perfect combination of
Definitely.
a little bit of interest but very wearable. Not so, you know.
Well, and that's what I want. I want a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So
Super nice
that's what
sweatshirt.
this is. It's yeah, and this is knit on a 10. as well. Yeah, this is on a 10.
Yeah, it just makes it fly. I mean, it's just so much faster.
Super fast.
Yeah.
I cast this on Friday and did the tubular, the pattern. She's like, cast on however you want to, but I used a tubular. And I'm like,
it looks so nice. It's such a nice detail. Yeah.
Yeah, so I forgot how to cast on tubular.
Charlie likes the lucky tweed too.
Yeah.
He likes the feel of it. Isn't that nice? Yeah.
So, yeah, so I was looking up videos and none of them were good that I could find. But I have a book, Cast On Bind Off, which I love, and got the book out.
Is it the little one with the spiral edge? Somebody in our intermediate class had it recently. I actually just got it this week on Amazon. Because, sometimes it's hard to decide what you want to do. And just to have the whole palette of things there is really helpful. The
pictures are good.
It looks like it's really good. Yeah. Well, I've heard Jen explain tubular cast on to people a number of times. And it's one of those things I haven't done yet either.
Yeah.
But when I do, I will either now refer to my book, which I also have, or sit with her.
Well, they've got like 5 different options for tubular. But
cool. Nice.
And the ones, a lot of the ones online have used 2 needles or something like that. I really like the way they do it. It's very straightforward.
Okay, cool. I will definitely take a look at that.
Yeah. But anyway, so I got through the tubular cast on.
It's so pretty. It's such a finished edge. That's one of those things that makes something look store-bought. It really is. It's one of those details.
Yeah. So I got through like the collar, whatever, the ribbing, while like the kids watched a show at night, like right before bed. Then I stayed up and did like the first 2 repeats of the increases, and then I did the second 2 last night, and I did the 5th one this morning. And so now I'm done with increases.
Excellent.
So
wow,
I've got about another inch. I measured it right before I left. I've got about another inch and a half of just stockinette to go before I divide for sleeves.
And once you get to that point of dividing for the sleeves, it feels so much faster because you're no longer, right before you divide for the sleeves, you're knitting your maximum number of stitches, and it feels so quick.
Yes.
That's why I made so much progress on the Ursa too. Well, last night was Duke Carolina. And, my husband is a UNC alum, so we always watch the Duke Carolina game.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking. They led the whole way, and then they lost. But I was knitting furiously while we were watching. So.
Well, I'm sort of pressing to get to the body this week because I've got like 8 hours of conference calls.
So you want to be at that point, you can,
so I can do
just
nothing
be cruising.
But
knitting around.
Yes, exactly. So I have this one in my lucky tweed. We have like such a theme. We're only knitting with the same fiber. This is nuts.
We do have our favorites. Well, and also we always say when we're talking to people in the store, we've got a fairly compact space, so we really need to be picky.
Yeah.
And everything here we love.
Well, this
knit
was
with what
new
we
in the
love.
fall, so now we're like obsessed and we're knitting with that.
Do you love it?
And we got the knitted with Targi Bulkium, which is not going to be available all the time.
Though we do still have a number. I put together the colors that we had as kits because, and it did help some people pick. We had a bunch of people casting on. Well, some people actually cast on before knit night last week, and actually one woman, Lisa M, finished hers. She bought her yarn the previous Wednesday and wore her finished bulky sweater to knit night last week.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so that tells you how fast you can do it.
That's entirely overachieving.
She's an overachiever. She is. She's a hardcore knitter. But I love that with the mohair.
Well,
oh my goodness.
yeah. So what I did,
that's beautiful.
This sweater. This is Tanis Lavallee's Metropolis, which is a free pattern. I think she released it this fall.
Oh wow.
But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it's free. But it calls for 3 needles, throughout the course of the project: a 6mm, a 7mm, and an 8mm. And that's a 10, a 10.75, and an 11. So I swatched this, and the 11 is what you used for the body of the sweater. The yarn,
that's right, and wasn't I think one is for the collar, right? Is the collar a different one? Because I was helping someone who was making this in the store the other day.
So I swatched. I don't usually. I used my sweater as my swatch. Okay, like let's be real. I started this, but I don't mind ripping out if my gauge is off. Right?
This is not what we recommend to our customers, however, because most people don't want to rip out.
Most people have an emotional attachment
4
to
to 5 inches of their sweater.
Yeah, which is what I have to do.
Exactly, and
3 out of 4. I mean, like 1 out of 4 times at least.
Well, that's the thing too. If you know you're usually on gauge, it's a lot safer to do that than somebody like me that is never on gauge. And my question is, how many needle sizes down am I going to have to go?
Yeah.
So I always do swatch.
If you're using a very similar type of fiber to what they used in the pattern, right, which makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But this is
part of it too is you want to make sure your fabric is something that you're happy with.
Right.
It's not just getting gauge, but it's do I like the fabric?
Absolutely. So that was what happened.
And I don't know how anyone would not love this fabric. It's
Well,
gorgeous. What is it, bunny?
Don't touch mommy's knitting. Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
And actually, you know what? Class is going to be coming in any moment, so we should.
I'm going to be super fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically,
stop interrupting.
I swatched on the 11 with just the with just the bulky.
So you're using the bulky with. I
swatched just for this on the 11, and I was like, this looks meshy. So I added in. I
love those together. That is so pretty. Drizzle.
Yeah, I added in some drizzle to give it a little more bulk. On the 11, still a little meshy. Then I went down to a 10.875, which is a 7.5 millimeter. Still meshy. Went back to a 7.5, which is a 7 millimeter, and that gave me a good fabric. And for some reason, it also gave me gauge. Woohoo! Don't understand that, but that's what happened.
Shall we let Jen pop in and say hi?
Yeah,
she's
sure.
at the door. Come on in. Just watch out. There's some toys on the floor.
This is as far as I go in this one. Hi, Charlie.
All right, so
I have one more thing. And that's it.
Should we do that with Saysha though? Maybe because class is starting.
All right.
In a few minutes, so we will pick up. You'll hear part 2.
Yes, part 2
you'll hear
is
part 2
coming
immediately.
now.
But we'll actually record it in a few days.
Yes, for us it'll be different, and maybe my sleeves will be longer.
That's right, perhaps. All right.
See ya.
See ya. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. He's good at the bye.
Say bye.
So, welcome back to Chronicles of Yarnia.
Welcome
with
back.
Our special guest for episode 22.
Thank you.
Saysha Greene.
Hello.
Insatiable Knits.
Yay.
So, Saysha.
You got to tell us about where we can find you on all the socials.
Yeah. So, on Instagram, I am insatiable.knits. On Ravelry.
That's
AYSHA.
I'll put it down there.
.knits. And then in Ravelry, I'm just Insatiable. And on Facebook, I'm Insatiable Knits as well. But yeah, I'll give you all the information and you can pop it in.
I think I have it. I think we're followers.
So we're so happy to have Stasia with us, both as a guest on the podcast and as an employee in our store for the last 7 months.
Yeah.
So
in real life,
you
can find Stasia here.
That's right.
Exactly. Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the store.
And occasional random Wednesdays like today.
Exactly. So
the
today
we're
doing a
Wednesday.
class. Exactly.
Today's a random Wednesday.
Exactly.
Yes,
and it's been great. I've loved my time here so far.
Yeah,
both working in the store and teaching classes, and it's like a dream job.
Great addition to the team. Great addition to the team. So
thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, both in the store, helping customers, and you certainly added a whole bunch of classes that we weren't teaching before, that we weren't teaching as frequently because we didn't have
perfect
all
made in heaven.
All of our brioche. Exactly.
Expert in the art of brioche.
And now we do.
I'd
say so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I saw Nancy Marchant liking your posts.
Absolutely.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right.
So I created this particular pattern for class.
You design.
Yeah,
So
I designed. Yeah, so
designing.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been retired for 3 years or so, and I was just trying to figure out what am I going to do. What else can I do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's plenty that I could do, but I love handcrafts. I always have since a kid. My mother taught me how to crochet and how to sew, and I love knitting, and so I just kind of fell into it. I wanted a particular hat, and I'll show you. I actually brought the first thing that I
Oh, good.
designed.
Wait a minute. So you just started knitting 3 years ago?
No,
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
She was
No, you're hard.
Chanel 2.0, right?
No. So I learned to knit maybe like 30 years ago, but I started knitting. So I learned a long time ago. I started knitting maybe like 11 years
When your
ago.
daughter
When my daughter
was
was
born,
born.
right? I remember hearing
So my
you say
daughter's
that in
11
your
years old.
classes,
So, but 3 years ago, I started designing. I saw a lady at Girl Scout camp. My daughter is a Girl Scout, and I'm her troop leader, with this hat, and I loved it. It wasn't quite like this, but this is a half brioche stitch, which we can show a close-up picture
Yeah, I'll
of
take a
later.
picture.
And I didn't know at the time that it was a half brioche stitch, which is funny because I just was playing around with different things, like
trying to get
slipping some
the look
stitches
of
and
the
just
stitch.
trying to get the look of what I thought her hat looked like. And so only after I had done it, I found out that it was a brioche stitch.
Oh,
which was
and wow, and you
kinda
figured that
funny.
out. That is, I can.
Yeah, because I was like doing some research and like just trying to find like a
Wow.
waffly
Yeah.
stitch,
Let me see.
So it's kind of
So cool.
And so that was the very first, and that's called the brioche waffle beanie.
Wow.
Right.
wow.
So
And,
this pattern's out and available?
It is. It's
Oh,
on
nice.
Ravelry. Yep. So that was my very first
And
design.
This isn't a fingering single ply.
It is a fingering single ply, exactly. And
It's really
in the beginning,
pretty.
it was kind of hard to say, I'm a designer, because it was kind of like I was reverse engineering this hat. Although this doesn't look quite like the hat
Exactly.
that the
Right.
person had.
Even if we do reverse engineer something, you always add your own touch to it.
Yeah.
You always add,
so
what it was you were looking for.
It is my own. And
I might
so,
have to make one of those for my husband. He definitely
It's
needs
definitely
a new hat.
unisex.
I
so,
totally, I feel like that too.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
would look super nice in the knitted wet.
Yeah.
The single
exactly.
fingering.
All right.
Absolutely.
Knitting for the cue.
So that was my first one, and recently we had a Brioche 101 class here, and a lot of the students wanted to do something a little bit, more intricate,
challenging.
more challenging, that had increases and decreases, and so and you had that cute little beret that that you did.
That's right.
The
One of the
Kelborn
Kelborn
ones,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I could do a beret. And so I came up with this solstice, and it was near solstice time.
Right.
Right.
When you-
So
when you finished it,
and we
yeah.
had that beautiful cotton merino over there, and I thought I could probably create something with that, and so I created this solstice beret for the class, and I think the class was pretty good, and you could
Absolutely.
actually, it was really fun.
Everyone finished I
Yeah.
audited the class because I'm a relatively new brioche. I had only made one project before I took Saysha's hat class, and everyone. I mean, I wasn't able to be at the last class, but I know everyone finished their hats. You had pictures
Everybody
of everybody.
finished it.
It was great. She's a great teacher.
And the nice thing about it is, with the looser gauge, it's kind of a beret or a slouchy hat.
Right,
but
right.
if you make it tighter, it's a cute beanie. So it's like it's really
Yeah.
up to
Wow.
your preference. A couple of people, they had a tighter gauge, and so it just
It's more form-fitting,
It's just
yeah.
a form-fitting beanie. Yeah, so
It's really pretty. I love mine. I wear it all the time.
it came out quite
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
And the palm, I mean,
Yeah.
Your pom
gotta
poms
have
are like
That is a serious
super tight.
very dense.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very.
like we said before, when you're doing a pom pom, you wrap it, and
then
so
when
you think you
you're
have
done,
enough,
and then
keep
you wrap
wrapping
it some more. That's the key
And then
to
you
a
trim
good
it.
pom-pom.
But it's like perfectly trimmed.
It really is.
This
It's-
is like a professionally manicured French poodle, right? Or like a hedge at Versailles.
Absolutely, it needed that palm. It's
yeah,
perfect.
it
It's
looks great.
perfect.
It does. It adds a final touch.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you can see that because this is a store sample too.
This is a store sample,
That's right.
exactly.
So you can come see it in real life.
Absolutely.
And like you said, this is made out of the Katia cotton merino, so which that fiber has,
It's like a cotton channel, right?
yeah, like a cotton
one of
core, and then it has the merino blown in, the super fine merino, so it's nice and fuzzy.
Exactly.
It's like squish and squish.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
of the yarn and the brioche, right?
Yay, I love it.
And this is not one of my designs, but because we're talking about the Katia cotton merino, I thought I'd show another store sample that we have, which is the Turtle Dove 2.
Yay.
That you just finished last week?
I just
think,
finished
right?
it. Yep, last week.
It's so pretty.
And you have to come into the store and feel it and squish it and squeeze it.
And you can
because
try it on?
and try it on. It's really soft.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's perfect. It's a perfect sweater for the Katia Cotton Merino, and we do still have quite a bit in the store. So
Yeah.
And we'll order more if we need to as well.
Sure. So how many skeins did you use for this one?
I used close to 13, not quite 13.
And those are 50-gram skeins, right?
Yeah,
they're
they're
balls.
little dies.
Which is nice, so you don't end up with like 80 grams left over
Exactly.
at the end of your sweater.
I know,
stash.
when you do one of those ones in the 50s, it's exactly. It's like you feel like you're buying more, but actually you're really not.
No,
because,
totally. No, it's much more
yeah.
like, I mean, it's more efficient on your stash.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You don't end up with all these leftovers.
That's
so-
true.
Yeah. But
And I did a little I-cord edging on the sleeve, which is different than the pattern.
It's pretty. It's
But-
a nice.
yeah.
Pretty
detail.
much it's the pattern.
So this pattern is,
Espace
it is
Tricot.
Espace Tricot, right?
Yes. Yeah.
They have the turtle dove, which was originally like a little bit looser gauge, right?
Was it bulky? I can't
I think it was
Yeah.
bulky. I think it was something carried with mohair.
Yeah.
You know, Melissa's a big fan of mohair, and I love her style. She's got beautiful aesthetic. So yeah, this is
Yeah,
done
me
for
too.
a worsted.
I love
I'm gonna
every
make somebody
pattern.
model
Every
this,
pattern.
and I'll put a picture in. But
We'll have you model it and we'll take a picture.
I can't model. If you notice, like I rarely model anything because I'm
Because
always
you're the one that takes the
photographer.
pictures.
True.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
true. That's true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I have to drag my I'll have a teenager in this later as well. Yeah, but
And so
I love it.
the only other thing I wanted to show was
This
we have a
looks good on
class
everybody,
today.
if you
We
haven't-
have a class today.
We do.
And today we have a class
This is-
to make this Willow Moon cowl, which is
It's so
installment
beautiful.
number 3 in our Brioche class series.
hold it up.
So all of the stitches that are required for the cowl we learned when we did the hat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like progressive.
It's
Yeah.
progressive, and so this will be the kind of next step up from doing a hat. We'll do the cowl, which is knit flat. It's got an I-cord
Right, I'm noticing that. Is there
edging. So
And
you
two
start
color
with
I-cord edging.
you start with an I-cord tab.
real?
So like you would do like say a garter
yeah.
tab for a shawl. It's an I-cord tab.
Oh, interesting.
And then you build the cowl out from there, and
Wow.
then you seam it together.
This
It's
have to
it's
show you
knit
the
on the
back.
bias.
like
Yeah,
It's so pretty.
look.
And I
at
remember
this.
when you wore that to Rhinebeck, you got so many compliments that day.
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So this
Yeah.
is a similar shape, sort of, to the
It is.
shift.
It is.
But I have to say, this I-cord on the seam, I-cord seam makes such a nice detail.
Beautiful.
Oh my!
Happy I don't know, accident or whatever. I don't know. It's just like I knew that I wanted to do I-cord and yeah, it worked out. Thank goodness.
It's beautiful. I can't wait to make it.
Beautiful.
Wait to make it.
And
Yeah,
this color
that'll be
choice,
on my
too.
on the needles next time.
Yeah,
yes,
I love
exactly.
those colors.
Love the gold
like the
and
fall,
the
the
gray. Definitely.
autumn colors. Those are my colors for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's hard in brioche sometimes, right? Picking
Picking the colors is probably one of the hardest parts.
It really
Yeah.
is. It is. You need way more contrast than you do for most things. But on the other hand, like this isn't super contrasty. They're both mid-tones, but it does work.
Yeah. It
So
definitely.
it is a little more challenging picking colors.
Yeah, I'm
for
still,
brioche.
learning that part of it, the color theory and the color combinations and things like that. I'm still a student of that part of.
That's good. We should
of
all always
designing.
be students.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have any
that's how you
tips?
grow.
Do I have any tips for picking the colors?
Yeah. Or
No, I said I'm a student, didn't I?
Well,
Well, I mean, obviously you want to have good contrast. Although I've seen people do, such beautiful work with, yarns that are low contrast. I think you just dive in and see
Pick
what
something
works.
that you like.
Yeah.
Pick something that you like and
Yeah.
dive in and see how it looks. And
Remember when I did
never
my
know.
hat in the class, I wound up switching out my color because I had a variegated. Actually, it was similar to this as one of
Yes.
my two colors. And with the one of the things we realized too with the variegated, it's not going to contrast with everything. Probably, there are going to be places that it has overlap. So mine was I had a dark, solid color, and wound up going with a light one, and that actually popped better. So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
just gotta be willing to play with it a little
And
bit.
with the variegated ones, for me, I find that what I would call like the veins of the design, this
with
part
this-
of it disappears
right.
a little bit.
This is a more
It just
delicate
doesn't-
pattern. It's with the hat. There's
Both
much
of
more.
these are solid color or
Exactly.
tonal or tonal,
Exactly.
and so you really
You can see
the
the
design.
veins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wish I brought mine back though, because this was the one where I did the on the outs, basically what I consider the right side. I have the light gray, and then I have a multi in between, and it does work nicely too. It really does.
Exactly, and it's a completely different look.
Right,
But it
exactly.
works. It works nicely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love these. These like
Thank you.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to.
I always love it when I'm like, this could be a commercial pattern, because it's so nicely finished. Like the colors work so nicely together.
Yeah,
So
I'm really happy.
Mine, what I'm going to do in class is
You're
I'm going to
doing
do the
this.
teal. I'm doing the Willow Moon class. Teal for the background and the gray with just really minor speckles. These are both. This is spun right round, and that's Matt Tosh.
This is spun right round DK?
Yep.
Oh, so this is DK?
Yeah, it's
it is
DK.
DK.
Oh, it's DK. Okay. So,
Which is nice too, because then it's still squishy, but it's a finer gauge. It's not so heavy.
FYI, for our podcast viewers, I did get an email from Spun Right Round yesterday.
How soon is it coming?
Like end of this week.
Are you kidding?
I am not
and
kidding.
we
I
ordered
can't
a
believe
lot.
it.
Jen, Amanda, and I were emailing back and forth. We had such a hard time paring things down. That is fabulous. So soon,
Well,
that shelf, the empty shelf, that drives me
empty
crazy.
shelf.
It's going to be very full.
That makes me a little bit nervous because I feel like, since working here, I'm in the, what is it? Is it the red? I think I've spent more, money. I love everything. And so I've got to start to learn,
Well,
get
and
a little
when
discipline.
you work here, you get
a little
first dibs,
discipline.
right? You
Exactly.
know what
That's
comes in.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
It's
So
true.
you know
Yeah.
it's coming in really.
I rarely get stuff right when it comes in.
You
Because
wait
I'm
a
like,
little bit.
Well, yeah. And I feel
Well,
like this is
also,
my stash.
it's-
And if
Oh,
you
this
want
whole
it-
store's your stash, is what you're saying.
Well, and it's different with yarn too. Like if there's only 8 of something and you really, really, really love it and have to have
Yes.
it, then it makes sense. But a lot of the stuff, like, though I did take home. Well, we'll show one of our things later.
Yeah. No, sometimes.
That I need to pay for when it's in
the
inventory.
Ball La Jolla for February, I took a skein
pretty.
home because that's like.
And I took a
Really
skein home. And then it was sold out by 11 a.m. the day the newsletter went
Yeah.
out because
It was really pretty.
another
That's
customer
beautiful.
came in.
Those
We
colors
should
of the
reorder
months
that
are
one.
excellent.
We really should. Yeah, I think that.
So yay.
So yeah, I can't wait next time. So later today, this will.
See, this is
be
why you should
beginning-
subscribe
Yes.
to the podcast because
Mm-hmm.
you learn things like when sneak peek things are coming in even before the newsletter will tell you.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Do you have anything on the needles that you'd like to show us? Did you say you had it on the needles, or not really?
I
this
do
time?
not know. I am starting to.
Oh,
I
that's
have
right,
not
you're-
yet started. Yeah,
And I
I'm
know
working
you're working on a secret project.
Yeah, so I can't show it, and so nope, I have nothing else.
I have something on the hook.
All right,
Woo!
let's see.
Crochet.
Yes. So one of my New Year's resolutions, I don't have a make 9 because let's be honest, I'm going to make like 30, and the thing right now is I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I did that a couple of years ago, and it was
Try to
fun.
plan
That
ahead.
I did 8 of the 9 actually.
Oh, that's good.
But I did switch them up a little bit. And some of them I knew I wanted a bulky sweater, so I did a bulky sweater. I hadn't figured
Right.
it out to that degree, but I thought about it last year, and I'm like, yeah. And this year, my queue is just so packed, and it has changed tremendously from what I thought I was going to be doing at the beginning of the year. So, yeah.
So no, but 2020 is my crochet year. Mm-hmm. Okay, and
That's fun to have it like a theme for the year in that
it's
way.
crochet year
craft
because
theme.
I learned how to crochet after we opened the store.
Mm-hmm.
I took a lesson from Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Who's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
Crochet
She
instructor.
had a crochet 101 on Monday that was great. They were
Yeah,
such a good
right.
group. Yeah.
Oh, I'm crocheting. And so
It's
yeah.
very relaxing.
And that was my
I feel
first
like it's-
craft. My mother
Mhm.
taught me to crochet
Mine
as a
too.
kid.
Yeah, my grandmother taught me when I was like, I don't know, not
My
even
grandmother
10.
crocheted, but I never learned.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have her Afghans, which are gorgeous, but in extremely scratchy acrylic.
Mm.
And bright pink. I should bring them in sometime. but-
We should do like a
Oh.
heirlooms from the closet thing. Yeah,
that
I
would
have
be
a few I
cool.
could
I
bring
have
in.
my great grandmother's crocheted blanket too.
Cool.
We should,
yeah.
we should do
We
that.
should do that. All right, we'll do that one episode.
That'll be
That's
fun.
Yeah.
But so I have 3 projects I'm going to do this year. I'm doing JK. Vivian's here.
Hello.
Vivian's here in her dude.
That's right. Which that was that on the needles when she
It was on the needles.
Do you want to just come across the back and do a quick
She's like,
appearance?
No.
You're fine. You're fine.
She looks cool.
Woo!
Very cool. Look at that. I love the cowl too. The cowl matches
Thank you.
beautifully. Very nice.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Love that dude.
All right, so, okay, so I'm going to improve my crochet because I know basic stitches, right? I can read my work. I can read a pattern. But I'm not really confident in any of them, and I don't know stitches beyond basic stitches. But we had there was one of our customers and friends from the Montclair Knitting Circle crocheted a blanket last year. That was super
Sarah.
Inspirational.
It's beautiful. It's so amazing.
Yeah, so that was sort of like my first, I'm going to do this better. So she did the Hooked on Sunshine Phoenix blanket in bold. I might pop an image of that here.
Sugar Bush Bowl.
Yeah, Sugar Bush Gold. And so we've had Afghan knit-alongs the last few years. I think in this one I showed you the
showed all
Afghan
your
squares.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday now. It was Sunday when we did the early. So
it's hard to keep it all. It is.
And we've had
time is a weird thing.
blanket knit-alongs. So I'm thinking this year we're going to do a crochet along, a blanket
That's a
crochet
great idea.
along.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, probably starting in April and going through the end of the year. Probably a Hooked on Sunshine pattern because they have excellent pattern support.
And the designs are beautiful. Yeah, the ones I've seen are really just breathtaking.
Yeah, and it's nice because they start in the center and go out. So it's, if you're doing squares, you have to sort of plan out how many you're going to do if you're going to make a smaller blanket. But if you're doing from inside out, you just stop
when you're done. You can say, all right, well, maybe I do want to throw, or maybe,
exactly. I want a whole bedspread, or I want a baby blanket. Yeah. So there's a lot of flexibility with that. But my first project is Through the Clouds by Rachy Newin.
And Rachy is a designer who's local to us, a customer and friend of the store.
Yep. And we've been chit-chatting with Rachy about doing a crochet workshop with one of her patterns. Maybe this pattern.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we'll see. Timing TBD, class TBD, everything TBD. But
it could be on the website soon, though. Probably in the next newsletter.
But this is not TBD because I'm already
you already started.
Yeah, so I got inspired by to do this at the Oink trunk show.
Right, she made their sample, right?
Yeah,
she made.
It's Rachy's sample that was at their trunk show, and used all Oink and some blues. But I just love this.
What is that colorway? It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Right? It was a limited edition.
Well,
at trunk shows, everything's limited anyway, but it is one of their limited editions. So I got 3 skeins of this, and also Through the Clouds is a fingering pattern, but honestly I don't have the patience for a fingering shawl, so I'm doing it in DK. Yay! So I just modified the hook size. I'm using this is my Luca hook. I'm using an H hook instead of the recommended one that you would use for fingering weight. Just makes a nice fabric.
That's pretty.
And I'll have to change the repeat the number of rows per repeat, but I think it'll be great. So I got this Oink, and then I got, let's see, this is a Spun Right Round Quake in their DK. We're getting more of this color. So it has it's sort of stripy. And then I have, this is Mad Tosh 11 Light. In the Tosh DK, which was one of Kathleen's.
That was one of my possibles
for her sweater. So these are my 3 colors. It's a 3-color pattern. And yeah, I think we're going to start a thread through this.
Yeah, definitely.
In our Ravelry. I want to do more prizes for our knit-alongs this year. I think we should do more prizes. So all the things that we have thread started for, the chunky sweaters, right? We have our Targy bulky knit-along.
which actually, because you might have
forgot
noticed,
that.
even though I said, oh yeah, let's wear the same clothes.
I wore the same clothes. I followed directions.
Well, I finished my first sweater of the month, so I figured I would wear
a sweater.
It's bulky.
Sunday.
It's bulky.
Our February
So-
sweater challenge.
Yeah, she's
Yes,
like, I might do 3 sweaters this month.
I am. Well, I feel like I
check.
probably will do it now because
Yeah.
this is the one. Like, it's done. I'm like a week later, it's done. So this is the Ursa Minor.
Ursa Minor by
Jacqueline Cieslak.
Yeah.
And I modified it a little bit, partly because of the amount of yarn I had, but partly I don't like things really cropped. This is cropped-ish for me. It's maybe even a little bit longer than I thought I would be.
It's perfect.
It's a great
It's
length.
okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, because if you lift your arms up, it's still...
It's still gonna be, yeah, like my jeans are gonna still cover myself.
Yep.
And I like a 3/4 length sleeve, so that's what I did. And the only thing I still have, I got it to the point of being wearable last night by the time I went to bed. I woven most of my ends on the edges, but I'm gonna pick up a little bit. She says basically pick up and bind off right away. I'm gonna see if I have enough yarn just to do a couple of rows of the broken rib, which I think would be really cute. I mean, it'll still be a pretty low V, but
Yeah.
so I'm really
I
happy
think it
with
looks great.
So,
okay, so
thank
that's
you.
one of our knit-alongs. That's
Yes,
the Ursa Minor.
right. And some
And this
of the,
is my Metropolis.
one of our customers actually started that thread because she started early. She started
Yeah.
before February. So I will, Amanda, if you take a picture of me in this, I will post it. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And then this is my Metropolis. I'm pretty much the same place that I was on Sunday, except I have divided for sleeves. So, yeah.
I love the way
it
you added the
variant
mohair
grid?
to that. It's
No,
beautiful.
that?
this is the
It's
turkey
the turkey bulky also.
and I'm holding it double
Oh.
with some silk mohair drizzle, the sugar bush drizzle.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah.
So this is our
It's making me want to do something like that.
this is our finish the sweater in February, right? Bulky sweaters. That's a knit along. I'll have a cool prize for that. And then we're going to have crochet. Probably this will go through May. Probably. Oh, because crochet in May. That's a thing.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll go all the way through May, starting now through May. Really focusing on crochet projects. I think we'll have a few crochet nights instead of knit nights. I mean, knitters are welcome to our crochet nights too.
Just as crocheters have always been welcome to our knit nights.
Of course.
No, it is
But,
true. It
I
is
mean,
true.
yeah, we do have that question sometimes. It's called knit night, but I crochet.
It's just alliterative. What can you say?
Yeah.
No.
But maybe it'll be crochet Sunday.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, no, well, that rhymes. And we do. We have a sit and knit on Sundays, which
But
could
now
be
we have a crochet Sundays.
I like that. Yeah, why not? Why not?
So that's on my hooks now, and I will have probably something on my hooks all year. And I want to make. There are some gorgeous crocheted sweaters, and that's like that's my goal for the year.
In the
You
latest
and
Pom
Haley
Pom
should
magazine, I think there's
Oh,
a
is
pretty
there?
one.
Oh,
They've had
okay.
some
Yeah.
really good crochet patterns.
My daughter Haley is really into crochet. She learned to knit first and then learned to crochet. And
Most of our crochet samples are from Haley.
That's true. Actually, maybe we'll have her on when she's back from
Yeah,
spring break
definitely.
soon. She can show some of all her amigurumi.
Yeah.
all the little
Yeah.
little amigurumi guys are hers. But she loves crochet. Never really knits anymore. And really wants to make a sweater. So maybe you guys can put your heads together and talk about some patterns.
We could have a
Yeah.
sweater crochet along.
Yeah.
I don't know about summer, probably more toward the fall, but we'll
Yeah,
have the blanket
that'd be
going
fun.
through the summer, and then fall will be our sweater.
So we probably should quickly talk about Newin Store
Newin
because
Store.
we've got a class starting in 17 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And honestly, I have to go do a Valentine craft for a second grade in 17 minutes as
That
well.
sounds
fun.
fun. That sounds good. Yeah.
So, and we have no new yarn to show this week,
But we will soon. We'll have more
Obviously.
summer around.
as discussed. But we have new accessories, which to me are often the more fun things, because I can use them right away.
I love these.
That's true. Yeah. With the
So-
yarn, you got to wait till it moves up in your queue or
Yeah,
jump
right.
the queue, whatever.
So the first thing, we replaced a new cocoa knits order. So there were some things we were sort of low on. Medium stitch markers, right? Colored stitch markers.
Stitch
We're
fixers. Stitch
running a little
fixers
long.
are back.
Oh,
Stitch
We
fixers
have
are back.
several
Stitch
people
fixers.
who've been asking.
Yes.
Literally, I get texts from people in the store. Are the stitch fixers in yet?
So yes,
they are now in.
They're
They're here.
and it's all in inventory. But when we were placing an order, Kathleen was like, can we get
Let's get the
little flights
the flight of
stitch markers?
This is probably one of the most requested
This way you don't have to make
that,
a decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
buy
you
the
know what
flight.
else? I love this. I love that they come out and you can. So for a certain project, all I need are the big ones.
You can just
Look how
carry
little
that.
this is. This is
know.
so
It's
portable.
perfect.
And they're exactly the right size to fit the jumbo stitch markers.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm sure that's how they size them. So
Oh, look, they stack in there like
they
Pringles.
stack in there, and and the rest of them, are just loose. But isn't that so sweet? So it's
It
so
is.
portable because as much as
Yeah.
I do love coconuts, sometimes if I have a tiny Notions bag, those big
You have
containers
smaller
are a little
Notions bag
chunky.
than I do.
It's
Mine
perfect.
are-
My
Mine are
7 Notions
giganto.
bags.
Yeah, so
Well,
these-
some of my project bags aren't that big, so I like to be able to have them fit no matter what project bag I'm using.
yeah, so this, if you've been like wondering what stitch markers you should get, this has the split markers, which are perfect for crochet.
They are
Exactly.
I did get those for my crochet project last fall. Triangle stitch markers, which don't flop around as much, and they're easier to. A lot of people think the triangle ones are easier to pick up with the tip of your needle because you've got
Right.
those little corners to go in.
And I've heard people like
Never
them for
used them
lace
before.
too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good because they're less likely to have yarn over slip over them just with the
Oh
points.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've used them a bit. I'm not their biggest fan, but you know what? Different strokes for different folks.
Totally.
Some people just love them, so you might be one of those people.
This is why, same as when you go to a restaurant, you don't know which wine you want, so you get a flight.
Exactly.
You also
Exactly.
have a stitch
Yeah.
marker flight. Then you have the small ones, which work really well for shawls or whatever, that you're working on fingering.
Thin needles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they
when-
go up to a size 7. I mean, I'd say really it's good for like a 3 or 4 needle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or any even if you're doing like a sock pattern that's got a repeat that's a little fussy and
yeah.
hard to keep track of. People don't usually do that, but those markers are so tiny that they're
Yeah.
not really going to be in your way.
Exactly.
Right.
They're not going to slow down your progress.
The originals, the mediums,
yeah, which are our biggest
love.
seller of
Yeah.
coconuts, which is why we're always low. No matter how many we order.
They're totally multifunctional. Those are my favorite stitch markers.
Yep.
But I got a whole pack of the jumbos when I did this sweater.
Right.
Because I needed a stitch marker for these increases.
And there aren't a lot of stitch markers that fit on
No.
really
Yeah.
big needles. So
These go up to a 19, which is perfect
Yeah.
because this sweater is knit on a 19. And I
is
will
perfect.
I will attest that they do work up to a size
And
19.
those split ones I use if I'm doing like a small cable, like I'm working on something now that's got like a small cable. So when I
As
need
a little-
to slip the 2 stitches to the
Oh,
front, I put it, it's
as a
perfect.
teeny little
Yeah,
cable
because I'm
needle,
working in fingering
basically.
weight yarn. I just need it as
Oh, I
a
love
teeny
that.
cable needle,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I'll knit and then work my cable with
Very
the split
nice.
Oh,
ones.
that's a good idea.
That's great.
I love it.
That's like you and your curved U cable.
I
needles.
love the curved one, but like for
But that's like the same
fingering
thing,
weight,
yeah.
it's perfect. It really is because
Yep.
that would I think the
If
big
you
one
only
would
need to
annoy
put
me.
a few stitches
Yeah.
on, perfect.
Nice.
Nice,
So,
nice tip. Or if since Jen's not here, we can say hack.
She doesn't like that.
Hates the
She
word
doesn't like
hack.
that.
So funny.
120. So total stitch markers. 120 markers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're magnetic, so they'll all stick on the what do you call that thing?
Something keeper.
The wrist.
The wrist.
Yeah, the maker
Some-
keeper. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
so there's
right.
that. So that's the first thing we have in. Second thing we have in
Is another thing I brought home before.
Yes.
I have to have this one.
But
so
this
fun.
is not something that Kathleen requested. I
No,
saw
no.
this and I ordered it the day that it came out.
Yeah,
'Cause
and I'm so happy you did.
I didn't
I
tell
love
them
it.
I ordered it.
No, I love it. It's so fun.
So this is the love handles. I'm wearing mine today. Love handles bracelets with the wrist
the wrist
rulers.
ruler. Mm-hmm.
This is the dark. We have also a light colored leather and the orange, which is in some purse right now at my house, and I don't know where mine is.
Aw.
But I'll find it. I'll run across it in like 2 weeks, I'm sure. But this is new. They have a ruler wrapped around a needle case. Look
It's
at that.
such a great idea. I love it. And
So
I
nice.
love it's waxed canvas, right? Yep. And nice little pockets at the bottom
Oh,
for
we can't
your
see the
cords
pockets.
and things.
Yeah, it's
pockets
tough
at
to
the
see the
bottom.
pockets.
Yeah.
No, I mean we're off the camera.
They're small.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
I am looking forward to to paying for this and looking it up. And we have plenty. We did get plenty. So I didn't feel badly about taking one. I'm like, yeah, I know I want this, so let me get it now before I forget.
Yeah, these are really nice. They're well made,
They
well
look beautifully
designed.
made.
Yes.
Yep. And actually, maybe on the next episode, I will bring mine in filled.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
No, because it's and having the ruler as part of it too. I mean, it's one of those things. How often do you hold up a cord and say, "How long is this?" So you can actually literally do it right there.
I didn't think of that.
Oh, the cord. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Or it is always handy to have a ruler. It's definitely more than
Well, I've been
anything.
It's a multifunction.
I've been knitting in bed on my on this. And yeah, I kept measuring, but I have my wrist ruler because I just took it off before I went to bed.
There you
I
go.
went, "Doop, doop."
All right.
How far along am I? Okay, and
So it was super quick because our students are arriving.
the students are here. The very last thing we have is, and the reason that I got this is because I'm knitting this with my Chiagu interchangeables. I'm knitting this with my Chiagu interchangeables, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I love this set. So we just ordered one to have in stock. If everybody loves them, we could order more, for sure. This is the Chiagu interchangeable
So pretty.
set,
The case is beautiful.
right? This is what you get. Everything from a size 2 to a size 15 in one interchangeable set. And I'll do a very quick review of Chiagu. Chiagu is, I love their interchangeable set. I have both the Lucca and the Chiagu set. I use them both. For things like mohair, right, or this rustic tweed, I want a smoother needle to knit on, so I'm going to use my Chiagu set. If I'm using superwash wool, something like the Mrs. Crosby, I want a little more friction on my needle, I'm going to use the Lucca set, right? So I use both of them a lot. The Chiagu is a little bit different and the reason that they can go down to a 2 is because they have 2 sizes of cables. They have both large cables that go to the bigger needle sizes, and they have small cables that go to the smaller needle sizes. They have like the end caps, so you can take a needle off your project, put it back on, use it for another project, and your stitches don't come off, just like the Lucca do. And they do have connectors for these. I will say the only thing about the kit or the set is that they have very limited needle sizes. They've got
Or cord sizes.
Cord sizes, yeah. They've got 2 8-inch tips, one 14 and one 22-inch tip, right? Which doesn't give you a lot of variety in cord length.
Cords, yeah.
Yep. They do have connectors, so you can make bigger cords. But the connectors cause a lump that you have to constantly push over.
Can you buy the cables separately?
Yes, you
that are
can.
long?
And I ordered more because when I got this kit originally, that was my only frustration was that I had to constantly
you didn't have
do
enough
that.
cables.
Yeah, so I also, since we're stocking this, I also got the 30-inch cable, the 37, and the 50-inch, which should be just fine for all your projects.
And it sounds like they actually do it. The length of the cable is the length of the cable, where a lot of other companies do it, including the tips.
How about that?
So,
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
These are 4-inch tips. The Lucca is 5-inch tips.
for the
So you
large
can
ones.
make a little bit smaller circumference. With these than you can with the Lucca. I love
So
them
many
both
choices.
so much.
The cords are really nice with the Chiagus.
cords-
That's one thing. They're so flexible.
Yep.
You never have any kind of memory with them.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
is
If
so
you
nice.
if you like the red lace cables,
It's
then
the same cable,
It's the same
basically.
cable for
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I. If you're buying a lace, a red lace. I mean, this is a $200 set. I will say that. But if you're buying a $13 needle, every time you start a project in the various sizes,
And even more as you
Yeah.
move up to bigger needle sizes.
right, then this is totally worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's
So-
so compact too. It
Yeah.
holds. It's really nice.
It's a good travel kit too.
All right. So
So I think that's all we
that's
have
it
today.
for episode 22. Thank you for joining us, Stasia.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right.
All right.
So,
Until next time.
and we'll have Jen back next time too.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.